with the specific subject. We will discuss today the unit number 2 and some portion of unit number 3 here. Like in the previous slides, we have discussed about the organizational behavior, what are the theories, what are the rules are applied for the in the social process as well as the human behaviors also. Today, we have continued with the another blocks. We are here, Dr. N.C. Sharma, with this slide. We can consider about the human behavior. Social process is the part which is a source of the human behavior. Human behavior, it is very difficult to understand about the human behavior, but when we are understanding about the organizational behavior, this is the part of the organizational behavior. So, human is the basic unit in the any organization. We can consider here human behavior is learned behavior and hence scope for the continuous learning process, which involving the unlearning and the relearning also. There is the socialization, acculturation and assimilation facilitate means who increase the human learning at all the life stages. There is a various part of the life like the product life cycle we can understand or we can justify like the product life cycle PLC, there is the also the human life cycle. So, the human learning for all the life stages is very important and significant when we are studying about the human resource management, organizational behavior, consumer behavior and so on. There the various factors are there. Then social institutions are there like the family, like the groups. Here we can understand what is the meaning of family. What is the family? Family. When there is any two persons are resides together by birth, by marriage, by adoption, then this specific phenomena is known as the family. Family is the basic unit and it is very important for the behavior of individuals. This is the part of the family life cycle. Hence, groups are the part of the organizational behavior, groups are the part of the business culture. So, groups are formed in the organizations, in the companies, in the sectors. So, family as well as the groups are the part of the social process. Like the political institutions are there, economic institutions are there. They facilitate the socialization. Socialization is very important and significant part we can understand in this specific unit or in this specific block also. So, socialization is very important process. Individuals as organism shape their behavior based on their experimental and empirical exposures when we have studied about it. So, there is the very significant process we can understood here which is known as the family. We can understand about the family as well as we can understand about the, we can say not only the family but groups also in the organization. Then we can understand society. Society is the wave, society is the group, society is the surroundings of the social relationship, basics to which is the human relations. Human relations are, we can understand, interpersonal relations are there. One person to the another person, that is the part of the interpersonal relations are there between the individuals. What are the individuals behavior are there, what are the relations are there, we can understand clearly. And the concept of the organizational behavior individually, how a particular person is working and how it is a particular person behave with the another person, behave with the groups or behave with the whole organization. So this is the part of the interpersonal concepts are there. Then individual, what are the individual behavior? Concept of organizational behavior, individual and group behavior. Group is the both. There are the two type of the groups are there. This is the clearly indicated here. Number one, that is the part is the formal groups, and second one is the informal. So formal groups are maintained or designed as per the rules and the regulations of the organization. There are some strict rules and regulations are there in case of the, we can say, the groups, or which is the part of the, we can say, the formal groups. Formal groups are designed, but there are also the informal settings or informal groups are there. According to the Elton Mayo 1946 clearly indicated the formal groups and the informal groups. When one particular person is working in a specific segment, like the example of some industry, like in the pharmaceutical industry, some persons are working in the injectable section and some persons are working in the another section. During the lunch and during the tea breaks, they are sitting in the canteen and they are discuss about the organizations, some specific policies, because they are not the part of that specific group, but informally they are friend, informally they are working in a particular organization. So these type of the groups, when there are no certain rules and regulations are there, which is not designed by the organization, which is not bound by the specific rules and regulations. So these type of groups are known as the informal groups, not the formal groups. So according to the Elton Mayo, both of the groups are significant, and there is the need to study what type of the group is formed, what type of the organization are doing on, what type of the discussions are going on. So informal groups are very important, and formal group is the part of the organization also. Like the process shape the web of social relation, the process are contact, adjustments, accommodations we are providing, conflicts, competitions, cooperations to each other between the employees, assimilations, accumulations, and socializations is the part of the behavior. When discussing about the whole of the process, this is clearly indicated here in this slide. Next, contact. Three types of the contacts are identified when we have discussed here. Identified in the social process, namely physical contact, indicating the proximities, physically we have. Social contacts, socially we are contacted to each other, based on the mutuality. Mutuality means mutually there is some specific mutually we are talking, and mutually there is the mutual concept when we are mutual benefits are bind to each other, inter-departments. So mutually this is also the part of the socialization. Awareness, when we are aware how the informations are floating, how we are aware about the organization, how we are aware about the policies, how we are aware about the new launching. So awareness is also the part. Cognitions, which is the, you can say cognition is the part which is we sometimes we can say this is the by birth, sometimes we say the cognition means which is predefined also. And psychological factors are there. Psychological factors is very important. Where are the motivation is also the part of the psychological factors. So psychology, contact indicating the promiscuity, and employee only after the selection in an organization becomes the member of the organization. There is the recruitment is there, selections are there, many processes are there. So we can understand in this specific organizational behavior studied that recruitment is there, selections is there. Where are the recruitment is the positive process, and sometimes selection is the negative process, because this is the part of screening. But a particular person when selected, it becomes the part of the organization or that particular industry where he is applying various type of the companies, various type of the organization, various type of the sectors are available. Then develops all the three level of the contact. Three level of the contact he developed when he is selected in organization, working the organization, adopted all the rules and regulations of the organization. Then clearly all the three level of contact gradually with the structure of the organization, which type of the structures are there, what type of their unity of command is there or not there, which type of the process they are following here, what are the structure, this is centralized or decentralized organization. So there is the structure, technological advancement, which type of the technology that specific organization is using, which type of the instrument that particular organization is using, which of the policies they are adopting to control all the systems or for the completion of the missions or the vision of the organization. That is depend completely upon the technology. This is the era of the we can understand the AI. So the what type of the technology is there, and what type of the pupils or the persons are there, which type of the person they are working, what is the nature of the managers are there. So there are the three component of any organization which directly indicated in this slide, and this is the part of our study. Next, the best behavior of involvement. The best behavior of involvement and the commitment. Commitment is very, very important. What type of the commitment? If a particular person is committed towards their achieving their goals, committed towards their organization, committed towards their team, this is known as the commitment. Commitment is very, very important. This is directly indicated about the behavior of the particular person or overall behavior of any organization. The commitment are achieved when the individual employee develop the community, that is the psychological contact, psychological which type of the contacts are there, psychological what type of the things are going on with their job. Sometimes particular persons are depressed, sometimes particular persons are we are not fit for this industry, sometimes some persons are thinking that there is no growth in this specific organization, there is no chances of the growth in this specific industry. So what type of the commitment, what type of the psychology, which type of the psychology is working here with their jobs, with their specific organization. So sometimes we think that particular person join only for a job in a particular industry, but after 1 year, 2 years, that particular person or employees escape from the specific job and they try to the another industry. Like the example, a particular person is working in the pharmaceutical industry, then that particular person shifted towards the education industry. So there may be the changes. This is depend upon the psychological contact, which type of the psychology. Some persons are working only for the money. Some persons are thinking that there is the more growth in the IT sector. Some particular persons or employees, they think there is the more growth in the pharmaceutical industries. Some they think that there is more growth in AI. So what type of the psychology is working, that is also very, very significant. Some persons are joining on the organization only for the 1 year. Yes, I am here only for the 1 year. Then after achieving my goals or after gaining some specific experiences, I will shift to the another company or another organization or sometime in another segments also. So psychology is very, very important factor. What are the fellow employees are doing, and the organizational goals are what, which type of the goals are there, that is directly indicated. It impact upon the behavior of the organization. This social process, when a particular person is there, is the socialization is there is the commitments are there is the formation of groups are there is the informal groups are there is the formal groups are there. Then this social process of the contact does indicate the level of the human behavior with on the each other. Extreme can be indicated by the lack of contacts, that is known as the connectivity, leading to apathy, indifferences are there, and estrangement are the part of the behavior. Then we can understand in this specific slide contact. Contact is an important social process. contact is a very important. Various organizations are working, like the example of the telecommunication department. This is totally depend upon the contact. When a particular person wants to connect to each other, this is known as the contact. Contact is very, very significant. Contact is an important social process that facilitate the groups or the group formations when we have the instinct, when we have a skill, when we have a desire to contact to each other. If there arises some problem in the organization, or achieving their goals, or sometimes a particular person is not completing the specific given task by the managers in the organization, then that particular person may contact to the another senior person, may contact to the informally to the another department person who have the experience in the specific field to complete or fulfill their goals, when there is a good contact with the another person. Contact is very, very significant and important. This is the part, socialization. This is the part of the socialization which is required for the organizational growth also. Process that facilitates group formation. Formal groups are formed by the organization. I am clearly indicating in the previous slides, because the organization framed or formed by the organization groups, by the rules, by the regulations, by the policies, or by the segmentation of the departments, is the part of the organization, or this is the part of the formal groups. Organization, depending upon the contact sets required by the interrelatedness between the jobs and contributing the factors towards the strengthening of the organizational structures, which are the structure of the organization is there. Then achievements of the organizational objectives. What are the objectives are set by the organization? Team building also the part of the human resource management, or this is the part of HR also sometime, but it is very, very significant which type of the team we are forming, which type of the persons we are selecting, the specific team. Then this is known as the team building. Team building exercise like the quality circles are there when we are forming, cross functions are there for the team, and project management or project teams are there. Further crystallizing the formal group process through the contact as binding force. So binding force are there, formal groups are there, which is a binding force where there is the need, okay, you will work on this specific company, you will work with this specific team only, with this specific defined group only. So when there is formally we have formed a group, when we have formally prepared a group which is designed by the organization, then you are bound to work this specific group only. But informally you are free, you can contact to any person, inter-department also. But when the organization divided the sections, divided the teams from the formal groups, then there is a binding force is there. Binding forces are what? Binding forces are what? Binding forces are the some you can say some rules and regulations are there when you can work only this specific only with this specific group only. Like when a particular person is selected in any pharmaceutical industry, then we have said that you will work from this team only, you will work further this team only. Like the example, you will work only the injectable section, like you will work only for the, this quality control sections. There are the various sectors are there where you are bound to work with this specific team or with the specific sectors only. But you are free to contact informally with any departments. So we can say next, the informal process, a reality propagated by the Altenmuir, and this is associated after the famous Hawthorne experiment, which is very, very significant, a very, very important experiment where more than 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, they have completed some studies are there. So in this specific study, there are the various experiments are conducted with the employees. how the productivity is increasing, how the employees are motivated, why sometimes why the employees are switching your company, what type of the factors are there who will increase the productivity of the organization. This is the part of the Hathorne experiment. Like there is the impact of this specific lighting, what type of the effect of lighting during the production, what are the effect during we are providing more lunch, more breaks during the production in the unit. Then why the particular person is leaving our organization, they are taking their some interviews, exit interviews were conducted, so they are asking why you are leaving this organization, why you are leaving this company. So there are the various parameters they applied to find out the reasons behind the increasing the productivity or decreasing the productivity, and why the employees are switching one organization to the another organization. This is the part of the experiment. It is internal process and explained by the groups. Groups dynamics were there. When we are working in a group, some synergy is there, which is directly indicated to fulfill their goals with the help of a process which is known, we want to win, our team want to win, or we want to achieve our goals. That is the part of the dynamics. When there is the dynamics is there, then particular persons is known as the dynamic persons. There is some specific energies are there in the group. So this is the part of the dynamics. This is theory given by the group. Emerging through the fluid based on the contact as a foundation principles are there. So the interpersonal relation in formal groups are shaped interpersonally. Some particular person is not comfortable with a particular person or the managers of our organization, our group, but it is more comfortable with the another person or another manager which is working in the different group. So this is the part is known as the informally. We are working in a specific group, but for some help, for some advice, that particular person approaching to the another group. So the foundation principle, the interpersonal relation in informal groups are shaped by the proximity and propinquity developed through the value system. Values are there formed by the cognitions, awareness, mutuality to each other in the persons, in the groups. Thus the contact as a social process, that the important part is the contact. Important part is the contact, because contact as a social process is an important source of the human behavior at work. So there is the 2 or 3 parts are there. You can write down from this slide also if you are interested. Then this is clearly indicated here. You can see here. Then another important part, adjustment. Adjustment or accommodations. Adjustment or the accommodation is an important set of the social process or the process of socialization in an organization, which indicate the human tendency to accept and live with the unfavorable, which is not favorable, unfavorable, non-conducive, contraindications, that is reality, both is the society and the organization. Adjustment is the preliminary stages of accepting the contraindications as well as putting up with them as the minimum level of living and leading to others' life. So adjustment is very, very significant, and that is the part of socialization also. That is the part of the, you can say, the organizational behavior also. Next we can say accommodation. Accommodation is higher level, you can see, of the accepting and compromising with the contraindications as the unavoidable circumstances. We have here that they are unavoidable, we cannot change this, and unavoidable necessities, failing which the actor knows that everything would collapse to the determinant of own self and others. Human behavior, we understand about the human behavior when the particular study sometime is the consumer behavior, but human behavior in the context of organizational studies and consumer behavior in the context of selling, marketing. So there is the part of the organization we are saying here the human behavior. Human behavior, that is the tendency and capability. Two types and two factors are there. One is the tendency and second is the capability. Some particular person is not want to give their 100%, but they have the capability. A particular person is lazy, some particular person is not doing their work on time, some particular persons are always coming delay or late in the organization, sometimes person is absent continuously. So there are sometimes tendencies there, but there is the capabilities are there. With the help to change the tendencies, if it is negative, we can utilize their capabilities. That particular person or employee can do better for the benefit of the organization, for the dynamics of the organization. We can change their negative tendencies, negative habits or negative attitudes to utilize their capabilities. So when a particular person is not achieving their target sometime, then the particular person or the group members or the manager must be analyze the tendency, what is the tendency of that particular person and what are the capabilities of their team, what is the capability of their employees. So after the studying or after the focusing of tendency and capabilities of the persons, sometimes there is no tendency of machine. Tendency depend upon the human behavior, but capability depend sometimes the mechanism. Machines are more capable, AI is more capable. So capabilities and tendencies are different thing, which is also the need to study for the betterment of the organization or to achieve their targets also. Then compatibility with the unfavorable conditions arises. Compatibility with unfavorable conditions arises out of their social process. There is also we use the word of compatibility. There is the word we use here, compatibility with unfavorable conditions. Arises out of this social process. Sometimes compatibility is there, sometimes a particular person is compatible, sometimes not compatible. Compatibility is developed by the practices. Compatibility may be developed after the study of the human behavior also, because sometimes some rules are not changed, some rules are prominent, then particular person want to please kindly change the time in the morning shift, sir kindly change the time in evening shift, but this is not, sometimes this is not possible to change their timings of the working. So after some time that particular person say okay, when there is the I am they arises the compatibility, okay this is compatible to me, okay I will try to come on time. So sometime unfavorable is there, but we become compatible with this specific phenomena and we adjust, okay this is the part of the organization, and then we arrange a social process, okay it is happened, this is governed by the rules and regulations. Like the terminations are there in organization, positive motivations are there in the organization. So this is the part when there something is going on the unfavorable, it becomes the favorable. So a particular person think, okay salary is the particular this is my salary, but I am compatible with the perks, I am compatible with the facilities, I am compatible with the incentives. So I will work with this organization, I will do best, and I will give the positive response to my organization. I will give the positive response also in the other side, because salary is limited, but incentives may be more, facilities may be more. So this is the part of the accommodation, how a particular person accommodated, how a particular person adjusted, how the situations are unfavorable to the favorable, what is the process of compatibility is the part of the conditions of the socialization. So this is clearly indicated here. Next part you can see here, conflicts. Conflicts is the significant social process. Conflict is a significant social process. Why? Because it reflects in the human behavior, angerness, rudeness, and sometimes that particular person is not happy with the organization, which is not happy with their managers, some rules and regulations sometimes also. So conflict is a significant social process arrived or developed which reflects in the human behavior. Conflicts is endemic and sometimes essential. Sometimes it is negative and sometimes it is positive also. Okay, there is some conflict is there. I am not satisfied with this specific policies. I am not satisfied with this specific promotion. I am not satisfied with this specific increment. Okay, but after analyzing their capabilities, after analyzing the review the all the things, all the reviewing their feedbacks from the department, from the organization, and from their managers, we can consider okay, we can do this specific thing also for you. So sometimes it is negative when it is still persists. So conflict redressal cells are formed in the organization. There are some specific phenomena as there, which is known. If there is any conflict is there, if there is any negativity is there, if you want to say anything, you can drop their problems in the specific box, then the higher management can consider it. Okay, these are the conflicts, these are the things are there. So sometimes it is essential and sometimes this is endemic also. When there is the maladjustment and the lack of the accommodations between the interest and the goals, conflict arises. Conflict may occur at the intrapersonal level, terms of the stress. Then conflict resides, it can become the part of the stress caused by the organizational conditions, or in the form of the approach and approach, avoidance and avoidance. Two or three types of the approach and approach. Then there are the approach and avoidance, and the avoidance is the part which is the goal conflicts arise. Personal role conflict may be there. It may arise at the interpersonal level in the organization. Between the person and the groups are there. Group and the group, there is the arising some conflict between the groups also. And organizational level also. So there are the various type of the conflicts may be arises, which is need to be rectified, which is need to be we can say considered, must be considered by the manager or higher authorities when there is any conflicts arises in any organization. Next, conflict is integrated in the organization. The example of the we can say the union employer conflicts not only get limited to the employment relations are there, but also become the representatives of classes. Conflicts may be there in the society, may be find way of the organization. However, the conflicts left the under addressed sometime. Conflicts are there, but under addressed, we have not estimated this conflict may be more difficult, and it become the more harmful for the organization, because it is not redressed, it is not in the notice of the manager sometimes. So conflict undress in criminal any system. So there are the some various type of the policies are there that in case of the conflicts are there, like the win and lose policy. Some persons are known as the win and lose. One person is winning and another person is losing. Lose when there is negative for the both persons, also negative for the organization, also negative for the employees, also negative for their customers or consumers also. So everything is losing, losing and losing. Win-win, when there the benefit of the organization is there is the benefit of the team is there is the benefit of the groups are there is the benefits of the organizational growth is there. So when there everywhere is the benefit, everywhere is the growth, everywhere is some positivity, some energy, some dynamics is there, then we can say this is the win-win. Okay. Then conflicts handling strategies are adopted. Conflicts must be fetched out, and there are some strategies should be there to dilute or to rectify or to remove the conflicts which is arising in any organization. So adopted by the parties to the conflict. So strategy must be formed by the HR department. That is the part. If there is arises any type of the, you can say, the conflicts, then how you will find out a solution, how you will work to nullify, how you will work to overcome this type of the practices, this type of the illness if arises in the organization, how you can achieve your target, how you will proceed to find out the best solution for the redressal or for removing the conflicts arising in an organization or arising between the groups or arising between the department, intra-department also. So, win-lose is the logic of game. These all are the things, policies are there. Human psychology is very, very important factor where we are thinking that we are losing. So they will think yes, we are losing. If we are thinking okay, we are losing and also sometimes we are gaining, so there is the win and lose. Sometimes we are losing, sometimes we are gaining. Psychological or mental state is there. So though the lose is logic of the game theory of the conflicts, when we are thinking more distress outcome can form the lose-lose positioning. Conflicts are arises when there are a particular person think that he is losing everything. There is nothing in the favor of that particular person. There is nothing in the favor of that particular employee in that particular organization or in a particular industry. Then that particular person think, okay, we are losing everything. There is nothing is going on. I am complaining from various time. So there is no solution is there. Then there maybe that stress may be arises, stress may be there. So this rest may become the part of the organization because this rest for the particular person or employee. Lose-lose position. Then in win-win positioning, when we are thinking, the employee is thinking, okay, I am also in the good position and the organization also in the good position. So win-win positioning may be the part. Through desirable, symptom is achievable, which is desirable. Win-win is the desirable. Okay, we are satisfied. Persons are satisfied. Groups are satisfied. We are also winning, and organization is also winning. Okay. This is known as the win-win positioning, and it is desirable or it is favorable for the organization growth. Sometimes loss is essential to gain something. This is also a theory. Sometimes loss is essential to gain something, but it is depend upon the conditions. How we can afford, how much loss we can afford, how much loss organization can achieve or can be possible, if it is possible, that how many losses there. So it is depend upon the policy. Defeat logically the win-win process, positioning underlying which there is the loss possibilities are there. Conflicts is considered by some as having positive values. Groupthink is there. Phenomena, it is considered distress as the pupil think alike sometime. This is the part. Differences in opinions, there may be the change in the opinion, it may be difference. So opinions of the differences in goals and the interest are considered essential for conflict to manifest. sometimes conflicts are arises in the organization, there is the need to consider, there is the need to always focus about the happening which is going on in the organization. Then in this specific number 2 or 3 in this block, you can understand also about the latent conflict. Latent conflicts, which is known as the latent are there, heated are there, then it is more injurious than the open and manifest conflicts, which is known as the latent. They are the burning sometime, and these conflicts may be sometimes harmful for the organization. Harmful not only for a particular person, but also for the growth of the organization, because behavior may be changed. Behavior depend upon the particular person. Behavior depend organization. Behavior depend upon the particular managers. Then, once the conflict become open, it is in the open. In the, you can say, it's come in the notice of the manager, in the notice of the particular person, or especially in the formal groups. Sometimes also in the informal groups, but it is clearly become open in the formal groups. Then handling will be easier. How we can, conflicts are there, okay, conflicts are there, some specific persons or a specific group is not compatible with the policies, then this is easier to handle if we know there are the conflicts are arising. But allowing the unmanageable level of conflicts is cancerous when this is not managed, when this is not under the treatment. It may be the harmful, it may be the cancerous, or it may be the dangerous for the system when we are not handling, when the particular person is not handling about the conflict, and then this is become the cancerous, means it is more harmful for the organization. It will be one unit to the another, it will shifted one unit to the another unit, one particular department to the another particular department. It may be harmful. And conflict stages like the pre-conflicts are there. Conflicts and conflicts ultimately are there. There to address, there is a domino effects are there, which domino effects arises here in the conflicts, which means that the conflicts give rise to the conflicts. When one conflict is there, then another conflict may be there. One particular department under the conflicts, then it is shifted to the another department. So then this is the domino effect. When conflict give the birth to the another conflict, conflict and conflict and conflict, then this is dangerous for the organization. So handling of the conflicts is very, very important, because conflicts may be a distortion, maybe a negative particular synergy, or maybe a negative you can say the latent heat or the latent, which may be injurious for the organization. Then 16, competition is the another social process are there which has relevance in all the human activities in the organization. As the resources are few, are claimants, are many, competitions are there. MS to get the claim, but even a word has to rise early to get the worm. It is the presence of the rule that makes the differences between the competition and the conflicts are there. Many framing or simply framing of the rules may not make the competition healthy. So healthy competition should be the part of this specific phenomena or in a group also. The rules shall be the mutually agreed upon. Rules and regulations must be designed which is compatible for the organization. The rules shall be the mutually agreed upon, and institutional arrangement shall be made in order to implement. Implementation is there, rules of the satisfaction should be there, it is applicable to all, and it is not competition by the brew into the conflicts. Organization initiated the competition system and promotions are there, as well as the performance are there, pays are there, etc., which unless they administered through the explainable organizational justice mechanism should be there. Justice should be there. If particular person is thinking that there is a justice in the organization, there is a justice system is there arising, there is a justice system is exist in the organization, then there are positivity in the organization, there is the positivity in the behavior of a particular employee in a specific group, which may be informal group, which are working in the formal group. So rise to conflict competition has become the global process testing the competitive advantage of the corporates. So competition is desirable, but we accept a healthy competition in the market. Competition is the part for the growth, but it should be the positive competition should be there for the betterment of the organization, for the betterment of the employees are there. Then another thing is the cooperation. Cooperation is very, very significant, which is very, very important in this block. So cooperation is a positive when we are cooperate to each other, when inter-department is there. Only due to the cooperation, when there is the no cooperation, a particular person find from the specific group or specific team, that particular person contact with the another person, or they contact to the another department or the intra-department, then there may be a solution arises, and there may be a solution is given by the informal group persons. Then there is nowadays in any organization, formal groups are there, binding force are there, but informal groups are number of informal groups are also arising day by day in the organization, because in a particular thing another person is more cooperative with the specific particular person. So team leader is very, very important. How a team leader is behaving, it is very, very significant. It is very, very important, because like the contact, like the conflicts, the study of cooperation or establishment of the cooperation or mutual cooperation is the part of the organizational behavior, or is the part of the socialization. Cooperation is needed, clearly indicated here in this slide. Okay, cooperation is a positive, it is not a negative thing. Cooperation is positive, conflict may be negative. Sometimes there is indicated in negative and positive, but cooperation is positive and desirable social process which shape the human behavior for toward the affiliation, toward the coalition and co-options and cooperations. An overdose of the conflicts, if there is overdose of the conflicts, howsoever endemic it might be, so it is the determinant of the organization in the societies. So cooperative structures and the systems are developed, both are the reactive and proactive approaches to the conflicts are there. So cooperation, now I think cooperation is very significant. You can understand with these slides also. The cooperation is known as the positive and desirable social process. It is significant. Next, conflict reductions, reduction of the conflicts, minimization of the conflicts, dilution of the conflicts, and maximization of the cooperation. When we are providing the cooperation, there are the more chances of the dilution of conflicts. This is the very important policy, which is the very important factor for the growth of any organization. This is a very important factor for the socialization. Any particular person went to the society, when the particular person think, yes, society is providing me the guidance, society is supporting me, there is conflict is reduced by the society, they are reducing factors. So conflict reduction and the maximization of the cooperation is the symptom of healthy organized societies. Structure functions are there, systems are institutionalized are there. Society as well as the organization, there is the need of the good system, and reduction of the conflicts are essential. There can be degrees of the cooperation in terms of the loyalty. When there are the cooperation, then there is the increase of the loyalty. Loyalty is very important, significant factors. If that particular person is loyal with the organization, a particular person is loyal with their team, then there is the more cooperation by the specific manager, by the organization, is helpful factor to develop the loyalty. Because loyalty is not only the simple thing, only the loyalty. Loyalty may be 2 or 3 types of the loyalties are there. Undivided loyalty is there. Divided loyalty is there. Unpredictable loyalty is there. We can understand what type of the behavior in their future. That particular time is loyal, but after 2 year, 3 year, what are the level of the loyalty. So loyalty is also very important factor which is helpful for gaining the goals, achieving the goals. Then after the loyalty, there is also the important thing, cooperation. In terms of the loyalty, when there is the more and more and more and more cooperation by the organization, there are the more and more loyalty may be developed in the behavior of the employee, which is helpful for the organizational structure, which is helpful for the healthiness of the organization. Next, involvement and the commitment is very, very significant factor. More and more involvement is helpful to fulfill their commitment. Clearly indicated, more and more involvement. If we are more involved, there are the factor. This is important and it is significant and it is helpful to fulfill the commitment of the organization. Next, which have behavioral implications are there. This is the clearly indicated or designed accordingly, we can say here. Assimilation is a social process. Assimilation is also important term which is used in this block also. Assimilation is a social process that promotes taking in and absorbing the external stimulus into the system. External stimulus means what type of the external supports are there. Stimulus is a very important, significant. Stimulus is the some specific phenomena, stimulation which helpful to think about the fulfillness of their commitment. Stimulus are the various financial stimulus may be there, appraisals may be there, some prizes may be there. If we will do this type of thing, then there may be some prize we can achieve. So stimulus may be some financial gains, bounties sometime, and stimulus is a positive phenomena. When it is positive, then assimilation is the social process that promotes taking in and absorbing the external stimulus into the system. It is a psychological, social, cultural tendencies and ability to receive the new facts as well as the realities and internalize into the behavior pattern of their recipients, starting from the ethnic societies are there to the individuals, including the organizations are there, and consistently undergo this process is very, very significant and important is there. Assimilation is important is there, you can say here. Then assimilation is the central to learning. Learning, we have discussed in the previous session, learning is a continuous process and positive process. So as assimilation is the central to learning, as learning is the crucial to be behavior modification, how we can behave the behavior of a particular person. Assimilation play a similar role, or dynamics may be arises. Then the process on which the process of the acculturations as well as the socialization is the rest. Acculturations and the socialization process contribute to the, we can say, the purposeful self-renewals, continuity of the society, individual groups, communities, institutions are there, organization, and all in the system undergo these processes for the growth and for the development of the organization is essential are there. So in this slide of this unit, changes is as endemic is achieved by the forces of the acculturations and the socialization processes. All those in the society find it's imperative to change and evolutionary long lasting change happens through these of the processes, which makes the adaptation, how we adapt the things in the human behavior and the organizational behavior, easy through the process of assimilation, and the whole gamut of the social process needs to be viewed from a integrated perspectives when the integration is there, and contact as the first process bring to the individual entities are there, relation with each other there, individuals and collective entities are there. Then how to find the tune contact to one to each other. Advantages is learned by the process of assimilation. accommodation and socialization through the experiences and adjustment accommodations, failure to which they expose one to conflicts, competition and cooperation, which is attempt to reduce. So slides are there more, and there are some assessments maybe there, I think so. So I think some policies are there, they need to complete in the next session. We will continue with the summary. This is about the socialization, and in next class we will cover last unit also, topics also, and some review we will consider in the next class. Thank you very much.